Hello, 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 and welcome to episode number 24 of Short, Fat, and Balding, a podcast by Armchair Quarterbacks for Armchair Quarterbacks. I am Travis, one of Trace hosts, who will navigate you through some sports debate for the next few hours. We also have James.
Not a drug dealer. I'm a prostitute.
That's good. We're being honest today. That's awesome. We also have Nico.
What?
Today we're going to talk about some harsh truths. No, we're going to talk MLB Hall of Fame, obviously discuss the divisional playoffs, what we think is going to happen with those matchups, and we're also going to talk about potential changes with the rules committee for the next NFL season, and as always, so much, very much, that's not a sentence more, on this week's episode of Short, Fat, and Balding. Okay, so diving directly into Hall of Fame, because that was like directly before we started recording this. Only 3 players got into the Hall of Fame. We have Adrian Beltre with 95% of the vote. Good for him.
Todd Absolutely. I agreed with that from the fucking beginning when we previewed this 5 months ago.
I thought he was a no-brainer. Todd Helton, Joe Mauer both get in. Billy Wagner with,
and I'm pretty sure I said both of them were.
Yeah, you did. I'm sure if I go back and I should have gone back and pulled the recording. I didn't have time. But Billy Wagner with the Ultra Ouchie, only 1.2 points away from Hall of Fame status, which means he'll get it the next time around. But
hopefully, it'll be his 7th year on the ballot.
Is there a limit to how many ballots you can be on?
Yes, I think it's for whatever reason, I think it's 10, 12, or 15, and I don't know which.
Gotcha. What do you think about?
That's probably something I should have figured out, but.
What do you think about Gary Sheffield only getting 64% of the vote?
I think he should be in the Hall.
Just so you know, you can be on the ballot for up to 10 years.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's 15.
Excuse me?
Either way. So.
15 years from retirement.
MLB.com, it's up to 10 years. Yes. And you start 5 years after retirement.
So it's,
okay.
It's a 10-year
whatever.
window.
So.
What were you going to say, James?
I don't know. So who just got in? Beltre, Helton.
And Joe Mauer.
So let's look at some career stats.
Also, fun fact that I just found out, you are no longer eligible if you receive less than 5% of the vote.
Oh.
Yes.
No matter how long you've been on there.
Interesting. Do you think that...
So statistically...
Yep.
Oh, carry on.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Of those 4 players, Sheffield leads in home runs and stolen bases in OPS plus. Batting average is right on par. More championships than all of them. More All-Stars than all of them. And more Silver Sluggers than all of them.
I think it's more of what they brought to their teams than it is an individual statistic.
I think that'd be more of an MVP voting. Whereas Hall of Fame isn't. Hall of Fame is based on your career, not.
Meant so much to fucking Texas. Todd Helton in Colorado, Joe Mauer in fucking Minnesota. Like, they all meant way more to the teams that they were on than Gary Sheffield, who was.
If that was the case, though.
3 or 4.
But if that was the case, though, Nick Swisher would be a Hall of Famer. I mean, I understand the logic where you're coming from, but I think when it comes to Hall of Fame, you have to look at statistics. Although,
to a degree,
sure. Gary Sheffield is no longer eligible.
Yeah, it was his 10th year, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gary.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, let's be honest, though. Gary Sheffield was a terrifying batter to face. Hell, he was a terrifying batter if you're a third base coach.
Right.
I mean, that swing is iconic. And he was in the time before exit velocity was a thing, which I'm sure if we had all the stats on it now, it'd be terrifying the numbers he's putting up. But I don't know. I feel like if you're going based off statistics alone, yes, but you also got to keep in mind he pretty much carried the Marlins to that championship.
So I'll read this, and maybe it'll
'97.
put it into perspective.
But is it about the PEDs?
Yep, it said.
Yeah.
This is Buster Olney. He said, by all statistical measures other than writers' voting percentage, Gary Sheffield is a Hall of Famer. But after failing to gain election in his final year on the ballot, Sheffield now gets thrown into Hall of Fame purgatory. His only chance is to wait out selection from a special committee years from now. Unfortunately for Sheffield, if he ever gets that honor, he'll have to wait for the prospective of committee voters to change. It was a little more than a year ago that they rejected Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, who, like Sheffield, have been kept out of the Hall because they were named in the dubious Mitchell report. Pretty much all the baseball writers for ESPN are saying that Sheffield was like the biggest snub. It says he was mentioned in the Mitchell report, but he never failed a PED test. That's an important distinction to me. Call me old school, but I'm all for one of the last great players to walk 1,475 times, more than they struck out, and add in his 509 home runs, 253 stolen bases to his resume. Sheffield did it all. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if his name showed up, they heavily drug tested everybody that was on that list.
Right.
So
that means that Andy Pettit's not going to get in.
No.
If that's the trend, Alex Rodriguez.
I don't think statistically Andy Pettit's, like, comparatively.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield would have more of a case than Andy Pettitte would without the PED accusations.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, just so you guys are, so everybody that was on the ballot, like that got enough to go onto the next ballot outside of the three that got in. Well, obviously Gary Sheffield's not going to get it. But you got Andrew Jones, Carlos Beltran, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Chase Utley, Omar Vizquel, Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins, and Andy Pettitte.
No, there were more. I just looked at this. Hold on.
Well, I'm just looking at the top 10 vote getters, I think.
Okay. Where did you stop? Andy Pettitte? Okay.
Yeah.
So the other four that are still on the ballot for next year are Mark Burley, Francisco Rodriguez, Torrey Hunter, and David Wright.
I actually forgot K-Rod existed.
Yeah, me too.
The fact that Bartolo Colon only received 5 votes upsets me.
Why?
Torrey, it's fucking Big Sexy.
Yeah, but he was good, but he wasn't, like, great.
Just because he fucking looks like you doesn't mean he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I'm white as fuck.
So was Mark Burley.
Are you,
he's
Jose?
He's talking about Bartolo Colon.
Oh, is he not?
Yeah.
Bartolo Colon? A guy with the name Bartolo Colon?
No, sorry. I didn't hear him say that. I didn't mean to say, is he not? My bad.
I was like, Nico, we got a lot to talk about.
Hey, whatever. My brain just shut off for a while.
Got left off too.
Dude, David Wright only got 6.2%.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the
8 players, all in their first year of eligibility, received less than 5% support. Required to remain on the ballot: Jose Bautista, Victor Martinez, Bartolo Colon, Matt Holliday, Adrian Gonzalez, Brandon Phillips, Jose Reyes, and James Shields. I'm really shocked that Jose Bautista didn't get 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one kind of...
I mean, he was kind of a menace to the game.
Yeah, and he was, like, I guess, I mean, these voters seem fucking pretty old school, and he was very new school. Like, he had the attitude, he had the bat flip. But, I mean, he was, like, the only thing that you would tune into the Blue Jays for the better part of a decade.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Statistically, where does he lie, though?
I mean, I don't have their stats up. I'm just. There's like a breakdown of the vote by the writers.
I mean, based on who still has eligibility, I don't know who joins the list next year. I do think that um, David Wright gets more just because of what he meant to the city of New York,
Right.
specifically the Mets.
Right. He's the last great player after Piazza, really.
Yeah, he did kind of pull the Dustin Pedroia route and just
Yeah.
kind of sit out for an entire season.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, Billy Wagner should definitely get in. Andrew Jones. Like, I don't understand how Omar Vizquel only got fucking 17% of the vote.
I'm not gonna lie. Jose Jose Bautista's career stats aren't actually that great.
Yeah, no.
The batting average below 250,
Yeah, that does it right there.
475
In my
slugging.
eyes.
The 450 home runs.
I mean, what's that?
But Nico, is that?
344 home runs.
So what does it in your eyes, Nico?
The sub 250 batting average.
Oh yeah, that's gonna get you out.
I mean, he played a lot less games than Todd Helton did too, but
Oh, I never even thought of that. I'm I'm still reading
What?
this
I mean,
article, and
he played 17.
they're saying that
What
Carlos
was that?
Beltran he got like a 12% spike this year, and they're thinking that the voters are going to be pretty lenient with the Houston Astros cheating
With the
scandal.
trash can scandal.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, does that affect down the road? Is that going to affect players, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Doesn't seem like it.
you're gonna have, you're gonna have, yeah, but you're still gonna have old heads saying no regardless.
Right.
So I don't know. I, I mean, I don't think anybody in that team's gonna be a unanimous decision, anyways. So it's not like
Yeah.
there's gonna be no's for them no matter what. But
Next year's class is going to be Ichiro and CC Sabathia.
yes and yes.
Ooh. Yeah, I think so too.
They think that Buster only thinks that Ichiro and CC will be first ballots, and then Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones will get in based on what they've increased each year that they've been on the ballot.
I
The
can
only
see
thing
it.
with Ishiro that like I can see somebody saying no is because he didn't have that long of a career in MLB.
Ichiro?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
How long do you think his career in the MLB was? Without looking it up.
12 seasons.
That's incorrect. He played almost 20.
He played 19 seasons.
And he played 2001 to 2019.
Oh fuck! I forgot this guy played well into his 40s.
Yeah. 3,000
Yep.
hits.
Yeah,
3,000 hits, he's in. He's in.
yeah,
He's in.
yeah.
Over what is it? Over 4,500 if you include his Japanese stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3,089 hits as an MLB year. And then I don't.
And a lifetime 311 batting average. He's in.
Yeah.
100%.
The non. I mean, those are
Yeah,
Derek Jeter stats. Do you think he'll
that's
be
fair. I
unanimous?
apologize for my idiot.
I
Ooh.
yes.
Because the only unanimous Hall of Famer was Mo.
Yeah, I know.
Ishiro also linked that bridge between Japanese baseball and American baseball.
Right. Like he was the gold standard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever see another unanimous, but I don't know. I think he's got a shot to do it, but I don't know that he'll do it.
I think he's got the best shot of anybody in that class.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
you got, and I think Billy Wagner might get in. Be 1.2 points off. Like,
Yeah, I think so too. And especially if you look at the career ERA numbers, he's second all time.
Yeah, they were saying that like the revival of advanced statistics is actually helping him because I guess when he started, he was hovering at about 10%, but he's like been climbing each year since people started looking at more than just like raw stats.
Yeah, like his career
Yeah, and I
ERA,
think
I think
raw
is
stats.
2.41.
Right. What were you saying, James? Raw stats, what?
I think raw stats are kind of hard to look at, especially with pitching, because you could be on a team like the Angels, and you could allow 3 runs all year and still have 10, 20 losses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think looking at win losses for pitchers is kind of foolish too. That's just my opinion. I think you have guys who, like Mike Trout, he could go Hall of Fame and never make a postseason. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean,
That's
you've
why I
got
hate championships being used as statistics too.
right, like you've got somebody
Like,
like
oh, how many rings does he have?
right, like you got somebody who's in my opinion like probably one of the best generational baseball players we've ever seen in Mike Trout, but no one you wouldn't no one gives a shit because the Angels are just historically awful. And unlike most other sports, it literally doesn't matter in baseball. You need a team.
So Mike Trout's played in 3 postseason games.
That's so sad.
That's wild. He's got a .083 batting average.
You know how fun it would be to see like a World Series Angels versus Phillies and seeing Trout versus Harper.
That'd be. Can we also just say fuck it? Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. He gambled on himself. Like, I don't know. If he was doing like, oh, I'm not gonna get hit today, and then was looking like shit, I'd be like, okay, obviously there's an ethical conundrum there. But any athlete, if you say I'm gonna put $500 that we're gonna win and I'm gonna have 3 hits,
Right.
you know, they're just confident in what they do. There's no guarantee they're actually gonna do it, but like, come on, like that's the one that bothers me deeply is Pete Rose. Put the man in the Hall of Fame.
Brutal, man.
Where do you guys stand on letting people with PED histories on?
I honestly don't care because at the time they
Yeah.
played, it's not like Alex Rodriguez and Andy Pettit and Gary Sheffield and all those guys were the only ones doing. Everybody was doing PED. It's literally called the PED era. It's called the steroid era for a reason.
Yeah.
It was everybody.
Yep.
So you can't. It'd be one thing if like Alex Rodriguez had the career he had and nobody was doing steroids and he got popped, 3 times, kind of like Robbie Cano. After everybody was pretty much done, he kept getting popped and hot. Like that's a state in your career. But if everybody's doing it, that's an even playing field as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
I'm
not to
reading more
mention,
about,
okay, so even with PEDs, you still have to make good connection with the ball in order to hit home runs like Barry Bonds did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the disdain for it. And like I even get if you make them wait the full 10 years and then barely get them in. But at the same time, Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs in a year.
Right.
That's fucking wild. The dude struck out 1,500 times in his career, but he walked 688. He was intentionally walked 688 times.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know. I think, so to put it in perspective, he struck out 1,500 times, 1,539 to be exact, was walked 2,558 times, plus an additional 688 intentional walks, and 106 hit by pitches. So you're telling me the man struck out, we'll say 1,000 less times, struck out 1,000 less times than he walked, or intentionally or not, and he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Right.
It's just
old school writers, man. Like They don't. They literally just think that all that happened, all of his success happened because he. Granted, like there may have been, you'd say maybe 10% of his home runs, which would like get rid of what 70,
76.
76. Which even if you eliminate 10% of his home runs, because you know the ones that just barely get over the fence, maybe the PEDs help that get the extra feet that it needs. Get rid of 10%.
He's still sitting at 690.
He's still one of the best home run hitters the world's ever seen. So like it's really a non-negotiable in terms of that. Like you cannot say that PEDs affected his career that much where like he couldn't have possibly had the statistics he had without the PEDs. He's not Lance Armstrong. Like it's just not, you know, like it's just so no, I'm 100% for you on that one. I think that the PED era needs to be looked at in its own unique perspective, and the players from there should be taken and compared to other players of that era and not players in the history of the MLB, and go from there.
Even if you put them in a separate area of the hall, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like make a whole area dedicated to the steroid era, because like it or not, that era happened. That's part of the game's history.
Right.
Trying to pretend it doesn't exist is just pointless. I mean, it's there. Everybody is going to remember it. And everybody, like, people our age are going to remember Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, A-Rod. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And
like, we're going to remember.
The steroid era brought us some of the greatest baseball moments that you're never going to have it again. You're never going to have a home run battle like you had between McGwire and Sosa, where they're literally home run for home run against each other for the season lead. I think they ended up breaking a record before Bonds.
Before Bonds did it.
Yeah, and then you got Bonds doing it. Also, what is with the National League and just getting home run records? What the fuck?
And it's crazy how that shifted now to the AL.
Yeah, it has, but like Aaron Judge hit the American League record, and it's still what 14 off of.
Yeah.
No.
12.
12. Okay, so it's 12 off of Bonds. So.
Or it's 11 off. He needed 12 more, so.
Gotcha.
So he hit 62.
Okay, I thought he hit 76. I thought it was. That's where I was coming from.
No, Bonds hit 70.
No, that's what I'm saying. I thought Bonds hit 76.
Was it 76? I thought it was 74.
It was 73.
Look at us.
73.
Look at us all. See? Armchair. Armchair.
So he was 11 off.
That's crazy.
62.
Yeah. So it's crazy how the NL used to be bombs away, and now it's the American League, and the NL is mostly small ball now, it feels like.
Well, I've always known the NL is small ball. Like, they had a couple of big bombers, but, like, you didn't have lineups built the way. Like, if you think about Bonds' team and then Sosa McGuire's team, like, they had, though, that was it. Those guys. I mean, look at how many walks Bonds had because there was nobody around him. Who are you going to pitch around to get to avoid Judge? Oh, you're going to go to Soto? No. You're going to go to Stanton? No. You know, the way the American League lineups are is much more prolific, and historically, that's how I remember it. Because I remember growing up in the early 2000s with the peak of this era. I mean, if you look at the Yankees and the Red Sox lineups, you can't pitch around to really anybody. I mean, even like Pedroia and Jeter and Jorge Posada, like guys who are pretty much contact guys that aren't major threats, you still can't pitch around them because you're going to put the guy on base and they're likely to get a hit and move them forward. So you have to pitch the whole lineup. Whereas like the historical, like those Giants rosters and things like that, there's a reason why those guys got walked so much because you could pitch around them if you had to. So they had the big bombers, but I still think most of the offense is in the American League if I'm remembering my life correctly. But I also was a kid, so I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at the statistical home run leaders and all of the top six, the individual home run leaders,
right?
Like for one season, and they all belong to Sosa, McGwire, or Bonds,
right?
The top six. And then it goes Aaron Judge, Roger Maris, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth. That's your top 10.
And those final four are all American League, right?
Yeah, and then it goes back to Stanton when he was with Miami. And then Ryan Howard, Jimmy Fox, Hank Greenberg.
He should get more credit for
Mark
that.
McGuire.
Because it is noted that it is harder to hit a ball far when it's humid out, and Miami's a humid bitch. So he should get more credit for that season than he does.
Yeah, 59 home runs that season.
Yeah, in a place where the humidity's constantly 70% or higher.
Yeah.
Good for him.
What I wouldn't give for 1 year of that in New York.
Buddy, give up. That's not how the Yankees play.
Yeah.
I would say over my past life, over my 32 years on this earth, the Yankees have only nailed one major roster move. And I say one, but I mean one set of players. Because I think the problem is they're trying to redo the magic of when they got CeCe and Mark Teixeira.
Yep.
Who were on the later half of their careers, but still very productive, and they've been trying to re-dip into that well constantly, and they just keep fucking missing. Stanton produces, but not at the rate that he once did. We won't even talk about Jacoby Ellsbury. Fucking, it's just I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I forget that he was a Yankee,
right?
Because that was just so bad.
They wanted to do Johnny Damon Part 2, and they failed. Who was I'm trying to think of what the fucking. Rizzo really is the only one that they've kind of nailed on. I love Rizzo. I thought that was a great pick. Great
I love Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
So that's really it. But they keep trying to go to that well and get these guys that already have well-established careers. I'm interested to see what happens with Juan Soto. I think that they nabbed him in his prime, which is rare for the Yankees.
I mean, yeah, he's what, 25?
Yeah. So usually they get him when they're they're Aaron Judge age, 29, 30. So
yeah,
we'll see. I'm very excited for that.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they nailed the Curtis Granderson too.
Yeah. I
mean, it was short, but
yeah, and then he went to the Mets. Fuck it.
but
I
feel like he's just a forgotten Yank.
I wish that we could clone and bring back Hideki Matsui.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I miss him so much.
Godzilla?
I was going through my
Godzilla.
I was making some room for this weekend because we got family coming over. And I was clearing out one of the storage areas, and I found I had one of those those 3D posters where if you move they change.
Yeah.
I have one of those of Hideki Matsui, and I was like, he's the fucking man. All of us in the U.S. were Japanese batters for that year, just straight up fucking not moving at all, no swag, just to the point.
I still bat like that.
He is the sole reason. I mean, I say this to everybody. I wouldn't say the sole reason, but he is the number one reason the Yankees won the World Series that year, and you can't tell me otherwise.
No, absolutely not.
You can't.
Look at his stats for that season.
Yeah.
Or that postseason.
Right.
Didn't he bat 600?
Yes. I'm gonna pull it up. It's ridiculous.
Man, I miss Hideki Matsui.
I honestly missed that team.
Oh, he hit 350.
Yeah, 350, 15 hits, 4 homers, 13 RBIs, 5 runs scored in 15 games. He won the World Series MVP.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He hit 600 in the World Series. That's what it was.
Yeah, 615, 8 for 13 with 3 fucking bombinos and 8 ribbies. This right here, this picture, this is a crime against humanity.
That is a crime. I forgot he went to the Angels.
Yeah, that's actually not allowed. The Yankees decided Hideki Matsui to a one-day deal so he can retire on the TV show.
Yeah, they signed him to a one-day just so he could fucking retire with them.
Yes, I have this poster. It's the whole swing.
He was so good.
Yeah. He's the forgotten Japanese hero because he came in with Ichiro. He was a year behind him or maybe 2 years behind him.
No, we signed him in 2005, I think.
Okay, so 3 years behind him.
4.
Whatever, dude. The point is that
Yeah,
he
no,
was one of the groundbreakers for Japan, and he's a forgotten one. What? This was a thing?
it was.
What the fuck? Why do I not remember
No.
that?
2012. 2012.
2012, he was with the Rays?
Mm-hmm.
That was the end of his career. I see designated
What?
for assignment.
Yeah,
That's way worse than the Angels. I thought the Angels was bad. No, that's bad.
yeah, that's exponentially worse.
The Rays.
No. The Rays don't deserve happiness.
The Rays are just a farm team for everybody. They get these players that are good, and then the second they want to sign big contracts, they send them off to sign with somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
But I don't
Like-
know how they continually put out good teams, though, with such a low
player
payroll.
development and scouting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they do it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I wish the Yankees would hire Joe Madden. I love him. He's like my favorite manager.
Is he still with the Cubs?
No, he's not with anybody.
But he managed Tampa. Brought them to a World Series, I think. Won a World Series in the Chicago, and then just as a sign of how bad the Angels are, he didn't do fuck with them.
I keep seeing this picture come across Facebook, and it just says, friendly reminder that Mike Trout and Andy Pettitte both have the same number of postseason RBIs.
Wow, that's not Mike
It's
Trout's fault.
one.
That's not
It's
Mike Trout's
one.
fault.
They both have one career postseason RBI.
Aroldis Chapman signed a $10.5 million deal.
Gross.
Waste of money.
$10.5 million for 1 year. That's literally $10.5 million for 1 year is like the best contract you can sign in the NHL. Like if AAV. Like that's like Austin Matthews shit. And then this dude's getting it to be a fucking closer. He's going to pitch 68 innings the whole year and get paid $10 million.
Yep.
And he's not even that good anymore.
No. Glad the Yankees got rid of him. Liability.
That's like what?
I'm not gonna lie.
$150,000 per inning.
Although he did just win himself
Sorry,
a series.
random thought here.
Yep.
The Tampa Bay Rays need to bring back the Devil Ray uniforms.
Why?
They did.
Yeah, they do wear them. They wear the throwbacks every once in a while.
No, I'm talking permanently.
But they're not the
Those are
Devil
just
Rays
sick
anymore.
jerseys. Well, they need to go back to being the Devil Rays.
Why?
Because I like them better when they were the Devil Rays. They sucked.
That's like saying fucking Miami needs to
Buddy.
go back to being the Florida Marlins.
Tampa has been the kryptonite to the New York Yankees since their inception.
Yeah.
These are hot. Can't
They
tell
are
you,
hot.
man, those are actually hot. These throwbacks.
If
dude.
that's the case, then Miami needs to go back to being the Florida Marlins because those jerseys are fucking mint.
Also, did you know, like wildlife speaking, like devil rays are basically harmless?
Tell Steve Irwin that.
It wasn't a devil ray that killed him.
That was a stingray.
It was a specific kind.
Oh,
The best part is, if you ever get to listen to the audio, like he totally blames himself and not the stingray.
did you know there is one Devil Ray that's super dangerous?
Who?
Wander Franco, but that's mostly if you're a minor.
I don't have anything to say to that.
That was just uncalled for.
Did the
Sorry.
Devil Rays actually wear this jersey?
There's no chance that they did.
That'd be fucking
Majestic,
sexy.
vintage Tampa, genuine merchandise.
Hmm.
Anyways,
I'll have to ask my cousin Johnny. He's a Devil Rays fan.
let's take a
He's from Florida.
Let's take a tiny break, and then we're gonna have story time, and then we're gonna talk football.
Story time.
Okay, quick story time, because I'm trying to think of it's like Murphy's Law. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sure.
You guys do know what Murphy's Law is, right?
Yes.
Okay. James, do you?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Anything that
didn't
can
sound
go wrong
confident.
will go wrong.
Correct. So I have been listening
Okay.
to a book. The book is called Fourth Wing. It is by Rebecca Yaros, and any female who listens to our podcast might immediately realize the kind of books that she writes. I, being a good, clean young man, did not know that Rebecca Yaros is apparently a prolific smut writer, and this was a top 10 New York Times best-selling book. There's two of them. There's Fourth Wing and then Iron Flame, and I got both of them because I subscribed to Audible, so I get credits. And mind you, so I listened to the book. It's a 22-hour book. I am on hour 19 of this book. There has been no sign, not even a sniff of any bullshit. Just like straight up Lord of the Rings storytelling, world building, character building, drama. Like, it's based on like in like a high school per se. Like they're everybody in the book is between the ages of 20 and 23, and so there's like that young adult drama, and like the main characters are girls from her perspective. So like, yeah, she'd like talk about how a dude's hot, but like other than that, no big deal. So anyways, I'm at the drive-thru at Tim Hortons, and I am ordering I am ordering my daily breakfast, and I get my large vanilla cream cold brew, and I get my Boston cream donut, and that's what I get. So I go through, mind you, I go there so much that I just say vanilla cream cold brew, and they just put the rest of the order on there because they know. I get it with no cold foam, light ice, and a Boston cream. I don't even have to finish it. They just finish it for me. That's a sad thing, but either way. So I always pause it for my order because, like, you guys know, who the fuck, I hate when there's extra noise because those things pick up so much noise that it's annoying. So I pause it, and then once I finish the order, I press play and continue on. And there was a moment where with the main character and a boy in a book, and I was in the book, and I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be like the Ginny kiss scene, where it was like, you know, a quick little kiss, like, oh, sparks fly, like we love each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't pay any attention. As this man at the drive-thru is handing me my coffee, my speakers, as what felt like they were on volume 65, said very audibly, I put his throbbing cock in my hands, and I wanted to crawl into a fucking hole and die. He hands me the coffee and goes,
be the greatest.
he goes, nice book you got. And I was like, dude, I had no idea this was coming. I haven't listened to this for 20 hours, and this has not happened. So I had no color in my face. It was awful. That's
100% texted his friends and told them about that immediately following that interaction, just so you're aware.
Oh, I'm 100% certain. And if there was like a dash cam in my car the whole way to the brewery, it would have been the funniest dash cam of all time, because as this woman is graphically depicting this sex scene, I look like Chris Tucker from Friday, where he's like, ding, like just scrunched up. Like I'm just, like there's words that I didn't know could be used in that sentence format. It was an experience. I felt violated, and
So can I ask a follow-up question?
Ask me anything.
You're finishing the book, right?
Oh, absolutely. I only have an hour left, and I'm going to read the next one. They're fantastic books. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It'd be in terms of like the grand scheme of the books, it'd be no different than like the sex scenes in Game of Thrones. Like, yeah, they're there, but they're not the story. It's just like part of it.
Yeah.
So there's way much. I mean, dude, they're literally like mentally bonding with dragons, and the bitch is wielding lightning and fighting people on the back of a dragon. Like, it is so badass. I will allow the smutty scenes. It's fine.
By the sounds of it, she's also wielding a fully erect cock too. Well, she's at it.
That she is, and also, fun fact: when she orgasms, she bursts out lightning and lights forests on fire. So, like 2 for 1.
Oh, see, in America, we just do that with gender reveals. But
right,
what are you gonna do?
But very post orgasm, we light the forest on fire, like way afterwards.
We celebrate the orgasm by lighting the forest on fire.
Correct. So that's my story.
Question.
Again, wide open.
Yeah, she she starts fucking the dragon. Are you done with the books?
Yes. Yeah, if that happens, I'm out.
Okay. All right, I didn't know where the line was.
Yeah. The line is most assuredly mythical bestiality. Yes.
Okay.
As
Just
much as
genuinely
that
curious.
is a trope in my D&D campaigns, like the bard wants to have sex with the dragon, like if they do it and if it's done and it is described graphically, I am out. I'm hitting stop. I'm uninstalling that book from my fucking phone. It would be a dark path.
Now, are you gonna go back to that same Tim Hortons tomorrow morning?
Absolutely. We just laughed it off.
Yeah, he goes almost every day. This has been a thing for the better part of 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, like I said, they know my orders
Just so
from
you
my
know,
voice.
if I am that Tim Hortons guy or girl, I don't. I just said it was a guy.
Yeah, it's usually a guy.
In my head, I'm writing down every joke I can think of, just so when you come back in and you're like, vanilla cold brew, and they're just like, "Yep, do you want a
Would you-
throbbing cock with that?"
Would you
or
like extra cream on that with your throbbing cock?
I'm looking up loopholes in the HR manual just to figure out ways I can sexually harass you every time you come in now.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That makes you a not good person.
And I think that makes me the best kind of person.
Because you were there when I realized I was listening to a smut book.
Because in his head, you knew you were listening to it. In his head, he's like, this motherfucker is beating off on the way over here.
I don't think the shock on my face was palpable. I'm sure that he understood that I was not expecting those words to come out of the narrator's mouth.
No. In his head, you knew.
I mean, in the time that I received put the coffee in my hands and reached back for the donut, we heard cock, clit, and stretch. So we were in it. We were there. We were along for the ride together.
Oh, this poor guy.
You know what? I bet you that was the most entertaining donut he had given out in weeks.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
The only thing I could think of that would be worse for me would be like if my Bluetooth connected to like a public speaker, like a speaker like with other people around, and I didn't know it.
Oh no.
And you like think you're in your car and good to go, and you hit play, and then it's like fucking giant cock, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, what are you listening to, Travis? It's not what you think.
All I'm picturing is it's hooked up to the arena microphones.
Oh, dude, I would
just
literally
going to leave, and he's like,
I would have to move out of the country because those dudes would never let that go.
No.
Are we gonna watch the Rangers game now?
Absolutely.
Apparently, we're watching the New Hampshire primaries.
No, Trump already won it.
Oh, did he?
Yep. Bum, 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 bum. That's your little news update. So yeah, so that's my story. That was a nice little 10-minute story. I was mortified, and if they ever like make a movie about that, I'm going to actively avoid that scene because it'll just be PTSD for me. Outside of that, I recommend the book. 9.5 out of 10. If you like fantasy,
You should have went with 6.9 out of 10.
Ha 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 ha. I'm trying to be a fucking adult here.
Well, you listen to adult books.
I do.
Tim Hortons drive-throughs.
James doesn't know how to be an adult.
Right.
Yes, I do. I pay bills.
Ask your wife if she's ever read smut. I guarantee the answer is yes.
Yeah, I'm set. Thanks, though.
I don't know of an adult woman who hasn't read smut. If they're not like a conservative Christian, they all like share it with each other. Like Sheila, she's currently on. There's apparently a series about
Sheila.
Sheila, we used to work with her at the appliance store. It's Colton's.
He knows who she is.
Yeah, he does. It's Colton's wife.
Oh, okay.
But she's apparently on a series. There's a whole like I think it's like 10 or 12 books, and it's all about this girl's relationship with multiple dudes who play hockey because Sheila would text me and ask me terms so she understood what they were talking about in the book.
Yep.
And I got my interest piqued because I was like, oh shit, a fantasy novel, or not fantasy, but like a novel about hockey. Like, that's cool. Like, would you recommend it? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, why is that? And she's like, because it's pretty much book porn. I was like, oh, okay. They didn't put that. That was not in the subcategory for Fourth Wing. It was not fantasy, mythical, book porn. They left that part out. So
See, it's funny because when I Googled it, let me give you the rundown of what popped up. Why are you being slow? Okay, here we go. Oh,
I've got it.
apparently we're not going. Oh, here it
It's
is.
after the owner.
So, Fourth Wing is a 2023 new adult fantasy novel.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is considered an adult
It's
fantasy
right there.
novel, and so is Game of Thrones. Adult just means that there's like adult
Oh.
themes. It could be death, it could be dismemberment, it could be drugs.
Could be throbbing cocks.
Could be, apparently, yeah. Yeah. I should have read the New York Times review. How Rebecca Yarros packed dragons, magic, and steamy sex into a blockbuster fantasy. Definitely should have read that.
Yeah. Oh. Fourth Wing is a steamy mix that blends fantasy elements, elaborate world building, and epic battle between good and evil, fire-breathing winged dragons, and popular romance tropes, the enemies to lovers plot, plus explosive sex scenes, including one that starts a literal fire.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. She has 6 kids, so she herself has experience with the
Oh,
Jesus.
November 16th, 2023. Fourth Wing lovers rejoice. Soon you'll be able to watch your favorite series. Well, lots of Fourth Wing readers have wondered whether it'll become a movie. It turns out the novel will be transformed into a TV series.
nuh-uh.
Yeah.
All right, so I have to skip that episode. It better be on HBO. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's very, very good. And I'm a bit of a fantasy nerd. So, I've read the Wheel of Time series. This is technically called the Empyrean series.
Wheel of Time was good.
Yes, it was very good. The TV show, very, very good. One of the few things that Amazon
Never
has
watched the
nailed.
TV show.
It's on Prime, so it's very, very good. There's 2 seasons out right now. Obviously, I've read Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Harry Potter's honestly like the lowest one of all of these. I've read.
There's a fantasy series that I read that I want to introduce you to, but I can't remember what it is. But I have the books.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know.
Okay.
It's coming to Amazon, so it'll be good. Fourth Wing TV show in the works at Amazon. Rights secured for Rebecca Yarros' sequel, Iron Flame.
Not gonna lie, I'm watching that scene.
But you're gonna watch it. You're gonna sit down, watch the show with your wife, and you're gonna start laughing at that scene. She's gonna be like, "Why?" And you're gonna be like, "Listen."
No, she listens every week. She's gonna know exactly why we're watching it.
You guys are gonna picture a somebody handing me a fucking coffee.
Oh, that's priceless. I just want to watch her set everything on fire. That's what piques my interest.
Well, you don't watch.
Not the coitus.
Not the coitus.
Coitus.
Isn't coitus oral?
No, that's fellatio.
Oh,
No.
You're right. Yeah, coitus is true.
Coitus is just coitus.
Yeah, it is.
The only
Either
reason I
way.
know what that word means is because
fight?
of the Big Bang
Oh
Theory.
no, that's just Goodrow.
Oh,
It's Goodrow
Yeah,
being
excited.
Goodrow. All right. Anyways, on to football. We're off this. We're on
Good
football.
enough. Okay.
Speaking of throbbing cocks, let's talk about Collinsworth loving Patrick Mahomes.
Well, that's the Sunday games, and we have to talk about Saturday first. So
Yeah, it's fair.
the thing on everybody's mind, not on everybody's mind, but obviously, like, can the Baltimore Ravens be beat? Probably not. It was a close game until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then Lamar Jackson was like, "Oh, right, I'm the best quarterback in the league." Did you guys watch that game?
I wouldn't say. Well,
Right now, dude, who's better? Who was better than him this season? Don't you fucking come at me and be like, "Well, Joe Burrow is better than overall." Like, fuck you. This season, no, he wasn't. Joe Burrow sat in the fucking pine, broken, while Lamar Jackson ran all over everybody.
that's not even where I was going to go with it. But okay.
Then give me your piece, James. Let me have it. Who's better?
I would take Josh Allen over Lamar. I would take Tua over Lamar.
Josh Allen, who just
Wrong.
left Stefan
Wrong.
Diggs wide open on a cross route to try and hit somebody deep and then lost the game for the Bills. That Josh Allen?
Yeah,
Okay.
the same.
Then who was your other one? Patrick Mahomes?
No. I think Patrick Mahomes has taken a big step back. I think Lamar will win MVP and should win MVP. But I don't know. When I think quarterback, I think pocket passer.
Yeah, well, that's not the league anymore. Look at the best quarterbacks in the league. None of them are pocket passers. Even Joey B.
fair.
Escapability is the most important factor in having a good quarterback. Everybody who you just named. I mean, Josh Allen literally runs for 75 to 100 yards a game. Lamar Jackson, 75 to 150 yards a game. Patrick Mahomes, usually over 50. Joey B, usually over 50. Jalen Hurts, usually about 100. Like, all those guys, all the top 10 quarterbacks are mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, but if you look at
The
like
only,
passing stats,
now I will say this, the only true pocket passer really left in the league was on pace to be the MVP, and that's Kirk D. Cousins.
yeah,
That injury
Kirkless.
that injury is a travesty. We were robbed of another contract
I
year where Kirk Cousins lights it up.
feel so bad for him.
I don't. He's got
I
millions of
do.
dollars. He's fine. Feel bad for me if I tear my
No,
fucking
but
ACL.
the man was finally going to get the respect he fucking deserves, and just his Achilles says, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
Figured it out. I figured out the book series.
What is it? My
It's called Mistborn.
Mistborn. Let's put that on my
Yeah.
Audible.
hold on.
How many books are there?
There's 7 in total. There's a trilogy and I guess whatever you want to call 4, a saga, I guess.
So there's 2 separate sections.
There's
Two
2
eras.
separate eras.
Okay. By Brandon Sanderson?
Yep. It's the Final Empire, the Well of Ascension, and then the Hero of Ages is era 1. Hey, goal? Goal?
Legit?
Goal? Nope. He just missed. They were showing like 7 different angles of the replay, so I had just assumed.
Let's see. All right, cool. So that's on my queue after I finish Iron Flame. Enough. Check it out. Now that we're a book podcast, fucking welcome to the Short Fat
Right.
Short Fat and Balding Book Club. It's the off season, folks.
It certainly is. You're gonna get a lot of hockey and book.
Yeah, exactly. Hockey and books.
You can get hockey and cocky.
All right.
Let's go.
I regret telling you.
Yeah. I regret.
You should have.
I regret
Immediately.
for you.
I'm gonna actually stage something in your life that's similar, so I can fucking just shit all over you.
Don't worry.
Why is Jonathan
stupid
Quick
shit
just
on my
hanging out
own.
in the crowd? Did you see that?
Is he in the crowd?
Yeah, like basically should be. Yeah, watch right over here in this corner. My man is just with the people, just vibing in the crowd.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I guess they don't have room for him on the bench.
I guess that's what happens when you play in San Jose.
Yo, San Jose like low-key has like they have like little. Oh, that's a goal. No, never mind. It's just Circuit said no. Those little lights on the seats are cool. Like, hold on. The guy go nuts if you score a goal. All right, back on topic. So, James was wrong about Lamar Jackson. With that being said,
Yep.
The other AFC game that will pit the Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. I mean, the good thing is Stephon Diggs came out and said that he's going to stay with the Bills. But like, what more can they do, man? They just seem to not have that it factor to like put the boot on the throat. Like they had multiple chances to like take that game and put it in their hands. Like when they fumbled out of the after that turnover or the 4th down where they went for it on the punt and then Kansas City fumbled it out of the end zone, they got the ball back. At that point in time, they should have taken all that momentum and shoved it right down their fucking throats. And instead they went like 3 and out.
100%.
Like it's just, and Josh Allen playing the hero again. Like granted, he did have a decidedly, or Jesus Christ, a noticeable difference in his type of play when they switched to what's his fucking name? I know his name. The new offensive coordinator. Fuck Brady.
No, that was the old one.
Joe Brady. Yeah. Or he isn't like doing the Brett Favre thing. He's not being a fucking gunslinger, but like I feel like whenever the team's down, instead of just plodding down the field like the greats do, like like your Brady, your Breeze, your Manning, like they would just take 15-yard chunks at a time. They don't go for the home run. Like he doesn't have to go for the home run. And like watching a couple of those drives where he's got guys open on cross routes, flat routes within like that 10, 15 yard range, and instead he's looking downfield. Like that's what cost him the game. Like we can say it was Bass in the kick, but like it shouldn't have got to that point, in my opinion. The Buffalo should have beat that.
No, it shouldn't have.
They should have put 35 points on the board, and they didn't. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
The only bright side of this entire scenario is that we get another weekend of Jason Kelce going absolutely fucking nuts.
Jason Kelce was the star of that show.
He was, absolutely. He is an icon, and he is my spirit animal. I'm actually devoting a religion to Jason Kelce. He is my new deity, my savior, my messiah. So we will
okay.
We'll go on from there. Yeah, Jason.
I would like to join this cult.
Absolutely, no problem.
Perfect.
The NFC side, I didn't think the Niners were very impressive.
Nope. I was for sure the Packers were beating them.
Their excuse is going to be the fact that Debo's hurt, but like that's always their fucking excuse. Like eventually you have to overcome your injuries.
Yeah.
Not to mention with that offense, like, oh, Debo's hurt. We used to have fucking Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and CMC on the same side of the ball. So Debo being out isn't the end of the world.
Right. And God help Brock Purdy this weekend against Aiden Hutchinson, man. Because I'm telling you right now, seeing Aiden Hutchinson's face after they won, and like being the fact that he's like born and raised Michigan, like it's his whole life, he is going to come after Brock Purdy with a ferocity that few have ever seen.
I'm here for it.
I personally, and I don't say it because I want it, even though I do, I legitimately think that the Lions can handle the Niners, not just beat them.
You know what the Lions versus the Niners is?
Tell me.
The crime statistics game of the week, baby. You got to go violent with this
doing
one.
This?
Absolutely.
Always.
Speaking of locks, you guys have sportsbooks, right? You guys have accounts, FanDuel and shit.
Oh yeah.
I went over and counted how many I have. It's not pretty.
It's well, I mean that's
degen.
He's a legitimate degenerate. That's good. Every podcast needs a degenerate, and we have a Nico, so that's good. The important thing is that for people like you, Nico, we now have a new sponsor that is partnering with the podcast. BetStamp is your one-stop shop for all of your sports books in one location. Now, I know that we went through the sign-up process, and it was really, really easy. You just go on, you link up all your accounts, so like your MGM, your Caesars, your FanDuel, your DraftKings, your Underdog, whatever other, was it?
Rivers.
Prize Picks.
Prize
Bet
Picks,
Rivers.
that's the other one, yeah. Bet Rivers. Yeah, any of those, and you link them through the BetStamp app, and it'll give you the best odds, all your tickets, everything right there in one convenient place to check it out. So say you wanted to do the crime statistics lock of the week, you can go in and you can go to that game and you can see which book is offering the best odds for it, which one has the cool parlay, blah blah blah, various things that you want to check out, and you can then go into that book, make that bet, and then BetStamp will keep that bet slip in the app for you to track right there, so that way you don't have to go into each app and check on that for you. So when you use multiple sports books, you can ensure you always get access to the best available odds, which is key to the successful sports betting, even if you're James, because he's not good at that. If you want to take advantage of these benefits and support the Short Fat Bald brand, you can sign up for your sportsbook content at signupexpert.com/SFB. Nico, I got that right?
Yep, you did it.
Nailed it. Cool. So yeah, signupexpert.com/SFB, the initials of Short Fat Bald, and you can go and sign up. Use the link, get the promos. I believe they're doing promos like a $10 match and things like that for all the sports books. So you go in, you link up for as many as you can, and you help us out, you help yourself out, and you go ahead and make yourself some money. And also, if you do win the crime statistics lock of the week, you have to mail us a beer. That's a new clause I'm writing in. What do you guys say?
I'll allow it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so make sure you email
It
us if you
seems
do
fair.
win, and we'll tell you what kind of beer we want. We'll give you the PO box and mail that too, and that's that. But yeah, so once again, that's signupexpert.com/SFB to sign up for all your sports books via BetStamp. There is a website and there is a mobile app, Apple or Android. So go ahead and sign up now and start making that money.
The Super Bowl is going to be a crime statistics game of the week. You just don't even know it yet. You got to go violent with this one. So give me Detroit money line, right?
Okay.
Give me Aiden
Okay.
Hutchinson with 2 sacks
Okay. So over 1.5.
and
Yep.
over 1.5, and Amon Ra with over 100 yards.
Over
That's what I'm
99.5.
taking this week.
Got it.
Over 9.5. Just no.
Just
Okay.
do halves for the love of fuck.
Okay, just because you're half the size of a normal man doesn't mean everything has to be
Well,
halves.
No, that's literally how
they do the
fucking.
halves
That's
so that way
literally
you
how
can't-
bets work. You
yeah.
fucking plebeian.
They do the halves so that way you can't wash on it, because if he gets exactly 100 yards, he's not over, but he's not under. So you can't get a half a yard, so he would have Rangers just scored.
Thank God for ESPN. I knew that happened 30 seconds ago.
So give me over 100.5.
So 101 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here, folks.
I think the Lions win by
Yeah,
at least
Foxy.
15.
I think the Lions win too.
So why don't you take them minus the spread?
Just take
Let
the
me know how
money
that
line.
works out for you.
Better odds.
Take a minus.
More
what?
money if you
Well,
play the fucking spread, stupid.
Aren't the Lions the underdogs?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if you take them with the spread, then
So
you would,
take them minus the spread. It's more money
yeah, take them
if you're
straight
that
up.
confident.
Yeah, take them straight up. For the
So
sake,
the money line is straight up.
for the sake of my graphic, I will say that they should take the money line for the spread. But you can say
Hold on. What is the spread?
2.5.
Plus 7.
7 points.
What? No. They're giving
They're
the
shitting on
Lions
Detroit.
7 points?
7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Bro, if I am
Yeah, if
Dan
you
Campbell, I am taking my fucking spitter and just throwing it at a wall and making a fucking highlight tape of how the fucking world doesn't take us seriously. 7-point underdogs against a team that has a worse home record than the Lions have away record and identical records of 12-5. Dude.
according to BetMGM, the lowest spread that you can go against like on the Lions is -3.
That I would accept -3. That's basically just saying it's a pick 'em and the Niners are home. But like, fuck,
Yeah.
dude, -7, a whole touchdown.
A whole touchdown.
That's actually.
Let's see if
offensive.
FanDuel has better odds on that.
You know what pisses me off, though? So we're talking about Brock Purdy being elite, right?
Yeah,
Jared Goff has better stats.
yeah,
Why isn't Jared Goff getting any love?
because he wasn't Mr. Irrelevant. He was a first-round pick. I think he was a first overall pick.
He was the first overall pick.
Okay, but he also sucked with the Rams for a little bit there.
He brought him to a Super Bowl.
Okay. Touche, salesman. But they didn't trade for Matt Stafford because they had faith in him, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair.
So let's be honest here. Goff isn't getting the love he deserves. Not to mention, I understand that Montgomery's their leading running back, but watching the Lions play, Jahmyr Gibbs is unreal.
Yeah, no, he's nasty.
Like, I think this Lions team is very underrated because they do have a few bad losses.
Yep.
But after watching, like, after watching them play, I honestly think they're going to be Super Bowl champs this year.
Yeah, they feel like a team of destiny.
Yeah. And honestly, they're the crime statistics game
Jesus Christ.
because Detroit beats everybody in crime statistics.
Really, they're better than Baltimore?
I
You
am
can
pretty
take,
sure they're better than
Detroit
Baltimore.
at -6.5 for +600. By the way,
You could take the Lions at -6.5.
and if you want to take them, yeah, for +600. And if James thinks they win by 15, he can take them at -14.5 for +1500. I'm gonna put this bet slip together just to see.
Okay. 74% chance that the Niners win the game. Such fucking shit, dude.
All right, so he said
Detroit is worse than
Detroit-
Baltimore.
no. Hold on.
Wow.
Player
Baltimore's
receiving
got a
yards.
slight edge when it comes to
Amon-Ra.
property crime.
Amon-Ra alternate receiving yards is what he said. What 100 plus?
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Hutchinson with 2 sacks.
Hutchinson with 2 sacks. That does not look like an option.
Yeah. Well, either way.
Oh wait, hold on. Defensive props. There we go.
You fucking piece of shit. Jimmy.
Honestly, what?
Just missed a wide open.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was like, yeah, but what I do this time?
Oh, Jimmy VC.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Detroit wins, and it's the year of the crime statistics. And I'm riding the Lions all the way to Super Bowl.
It won't let me parlay Aiden Hutchinson.
Weak.
But even still, at the 2 picks that
What are the odds? Because
you will allow me to parlay, it's plus 5,000.
Got $1 on it, boys.
No, that's no.
Then put $100 on it. I don't.
You bet $1 to win 50. You bet 100 to win 5,000.
Okay, then put 100 on it. I don't know what you want me to do here, friend.
So what's the plus minus right now?
Put your money where your mouth is.
All right, what's the
It was Lions minus 14.5, and then Amon-Ra over 100 yards.
Okay. So
And then Aiden Hutchinson to record 2 sacks.
So because of the fact that that prop bet is not available, do Aiden Hutchinson total tackles 3.5?
It won't parlay that one either.
Well, it would be plus 110. So if you just add the math to it, parlay, which is stupid. I wonder why that's.
I mean, it would probably be plus 11,000.
Right.
If I had to guess.
Give me St. Brown with a touchdown. Anytime touchdown score. There you go. 3-leg parlay. Crime statistics parlay of the week, boys.
And you can get your best odds on that parlay by going to BetStamp.com.
Check it out. Help out the
BetStamp.com.
boys.
Signupexpert.com
We are the boys.
/SFB. And I'm in. All
right.
So, also, do we think the Bucks signed Baker Mayfield? He kind of was good.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting 40 mil a year.
No, fuck no, that'd be stupid.
But I see him doing like a 3 at 90.
Yeah, you think so? I was thinking 3. I was thinking 3 years 75.
I'm thinking between 75 and 90.
Yeah.
With about 50% of it guaranteed.
Yeah.
I could see him doing that. Have you guys watched the Untold Johnny Manziel
No.
on Netflix? Shit's wild. It's wild. Wild. He actually planned on doing the how do I put this delicately? The he was gonna unalive himself
I believe that. He was in a
at
pretty
one
dark
point.
place.
Yeah, it was wild to listen to it. And I honestly sat there and felt bad for the kid. You know?
I mean, I always felt bad for him because like you don't behave the way he did and make the decisions that he made without like something being wrong.
Yeah.
Like he, and I always like people like just be like, oh well, you had this opportunity, blah blah blah. Like that's not how mental health goes, bro. It's just not. Because mental health doesn't give a fuck that you
Yeah.
make millions of dollars a year. Like you still gonna be fucked up if you're fucked up. And for people to like
Mm-hmm.
very nonchalantly just be like, ah, yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. Like no, no. Because no one's
I mean,
intentionally
there's
throwing
two
away an
sides to
opportunity
every
like that.
story,
Yeah,
and I think he fell into a bad situation, and I honestly think I know because he said it in there. He didn't say it quite like this, but the way I'm going to say it, but he pretty much got away with just being purely talented.
right. And he went to
Like,
the
if that,
worst quarterbacking situation in the league.
if he genuinely like cared about football and being great, he probably could have been one of the greatest to ever do it. Because he wasn't reading playbooks. He was out partying and drinking all night. Like, I just think he had an addictive personality and found himself around the wrong people and
Yeah.
hurt himself in the long run. But you never know what could have been. But he seems to have his stuff together now, so
Did you guys
good
speak?
on him.
Unrelated, but kind of related. Did you guys see it's basically all but written in stone that Harbaugh's going to go to the Chargers?
That's it.
Yeah, like he met with
Or-
them yesterday, and he brought his wife with him, and like you don't do that unless like it's serious.
Yeah.
Where do you think Billy Belichick ends up?
Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a second
I can see
interview.
that.
They did a second interview with him, and it makes the most sense because what the fuck is Arthur's last name?
Smith.
Blank. Smith.
The
No, the coach. The
no
old
the
coach was Arthur Smith.
the
The
owner
You're thinking
owner's
the
of Tom
owner
blank,
Brady.
isn't
Arthur
it?
Blank, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a lot like Kraft. He's old school. He's patient, and I'm sure that like him and Belichick would see eye to eye more than like a younger guy.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more moldable entities in Atlanta. Like they're not a shit roster like it is in Carolina, where like all they have is Bryce Young, and that's literally it.
Yeah.
So Carolina doesn't make sense. That's going to be some coach that's just desperate for any opportunity. Plus, the owner in Carolina is just never, ever would Bill Belichick put himself in that situation. People thought he was going to go to Philadelphia for a bit, but it looks like Nick Sirianni's pretty well locked in place. They fired both the DC and the OC, so I am hoping for Frank Reich to return, or there's whispers that Eric Bieniemy could come to Philadelphia, which I'd be okay with.
Think did he get a head coaching gig,
I'd
or is
love to
he
see
still
him
with
in Cincy.
Kansas City?
Bieniemy's with Washington.
Okay, so he did leave Kansas City. I
Yeah,
didn't
he
pay
was
attention to
in
any of that.
yeah, he was in Ron Rivera's staff, which Ron Rivera interviewed for our defensive coordinator position. So that'd be funny if we went and picked up Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy from Washington. Fuck you, losers. But yeah, so like if you look at the openings, the only other position that made sense for Belichick was the Chargers, but the Chargers are flirting with Harbaugh pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I think Harbaugh is a better coach for Justin Herbert than Belichick could ever be because Tom Brady was excellent in spite of Bill Belichick, not because of him. So hiring another defensive head coach is a mistake on Los Angeles' part because they had the offensive talent where they needed an offensive-minded coach. I think the Brandon Staley experiment proved that because they have that roster and they could do nothing inspiring on offense because it's just not an offensive-minded coach. And look at the league right now. Look at the four teams that are left. You got Andy Reid, offensive coach. Dan Campbell, is he a defensive coach? He feels like one, but he might not be. You have John Harbaugh.
Tree. I think he comes from the Bill Parcells tree.
You have John Harbaugh, who's an offensive coach, and you have Shanahan, who's an offensive coach. So
Yeah.
it's the writing's pretty much on the fucking wall. I'm gonna look up Dan Campbell because I don't know what he was. He's a tight ends coach. So yeah, he's an
He was
offensive
tight
coach
ends
too.
coach. He was an offensive coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an
Yeah, I
offensive
was gonna
coach too.
say I know wasn't he was a tight end in the league.
Yeah, he was. He's just so fucking like ballsy and gritty that
Played for the Giants.
you
Fun
just
fact.
nice. It's just shocking to see that he's not a defensive. Just his mindset. It's hard to think of him on offense. He was with the Giants when they won the Super Bowl. No, played in the Super Bowl when they lost to the Ravens, 2000.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there you go. All 4 final teams are offensive-minded coaches.
That's what the league need, or that's what a lot of these teams need.
Right. So it's a no-brainer to go with Harbaugh over Belichick. Like, yeah, Belichick is one of the greatest defensive minds in league history, but that doesn't get you anywhere these days. Get a good coordinator; he'll get you just as far.
Yep.
Case in point, also being the fact that if you look at the 2 coaches, the 2 coordinators who left the Eagles Super Bowl team, Shane Steichen and I forget what the other fucking guy's name at DC. But Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator, and look at what Indianapolis did. They competed for the division. Arizona did not do great.
Yeah.
The Bengals actually just lost their offensive coordinator to Houston.
The coach?
Yeah, their OC went to Houston to be the head coach.
He's good.
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans?
Offensive mind again. Huh?
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans?
Pretty sure it was the Texans that got him.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking you. D'Amico
Oh.
Ryans is who you're talking about?
No, D'Amico Ryans was their head
like
coach
this year.
or was there? No, he's their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, the head coach is D'Amico Ryans, guys.
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's a defensive coach.
Yeah.
He played for the Eagles.
Oh, I lied. Not the Texans, the Titans. Offensive coordinator Brian Callahan.
Okay.
Here to the Titans.
I was like,
Oh no, I was thinking Texans.
because they both start with T. They both were from the same town.
Probably.
Titans.
But yeah, so they just lost him to the Titans. So we'll see what happens, but fingers crossed Eric Bieniemy, but
Really?
what are you gonna do? Yeah.
I mean, Frank Reich is still out there. He's good.
Send him to New York.
You know who I want Philly to get back so bad? Fucking Jim Schwartz, man. I love his defenses. Look what he did. Look what he's doing in fucking Cleveland.
Yeah.
I miss him. We won the Super Bowl with him as the defensive coordinator. And one of the biggest issues, I don't know if you guys, I know you're not Eagles fans, so you probably didn't pay attention much, but Darius Slay in his exit interview said one of the biggest issues that the Eagles had on defense this year was they didn't know their identity because the constant bickering back and forth between Sean Desai and Matt Patricia, and they were arguing about play calls and shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty ruthless.
That's what happens, dude. And there's too many cooks in the kitchen. It's fucking bullshit. So, anyways, moving on.
So Slay isn't coming back, or
no? Slay's coming back. It's just his exit interview. Like they were like, what happened this year, and that was his big bitch. Is that the reason the defense underperformed is because they didn't have an identity. They weren't really sure how they were supposed to play defense because
who they were.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't have an identity. And so that became an issue. But I'm not too worried about it.
That's fair.
They're gonna get a good defensive coordinator, and they have Howie. Like when the when the lights were off. I don't know when the fuck it happened, but he signed a couple of really good young corners who are on injured reserve for other teams. Like he traded for them, and I was looking at their stats and they're pretty ridiculous. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just found that out today. So
Oh, did you see? Real quick before we go, did you see your boy signed with the Lions?
yeah, Ertz, good for them.
Yeah,
I'm happy
man,
for
him and Laporta. That's
Zach.
going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, it is going to be hard to stop, and I would love nothing more than to see Zach Ertz win another Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So if I'm not mistaken, we basically agreed that we're going to see a Lions and Ravens Super Bowl.
Yep.
I'm hoping so.
The
At least that's
only
what I want to see happen.
the only thing that would get me amped up for a Lions Chiefs Super Bowl would be the fact that it would be Eminem versus Taylor Swift, and I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Eminem's about to write a diss track about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna go nuts. I just straight up don't want to see San Francisco in the Super Bowl. I don't like them. I don't like their fan base. I don't like anything about them. If they do go to the Super Bowl, I hope it's against the Ravens, and I hope the Ravens beat them again, because that would make me really happy.
The fucking lights out.
I don't care. Like I'm indifferent to the Ravens. Like I like John Harbaugh. I like Lamar Jackson. Historically, like Ray Lewis is one of my favorite players of all time. Like I'm cool with Baltimore, and they feel like a humble fan base. Like I know I'm not in the division, but I just don't hear about a lot of bullshit about them. And also, Stavros, what's his name? Stavros, fucking. What is his name? He's fucking hilarious. Stavros Halkias. You guys ever heard of him?
No.
He's a comedian.
I have not.
He's like a fat Greek guy, and he's from Baltimore. And he is the hardcore dude. He like has like a Baltimore accent, and he went on the Rich Eisen show, and he's like Baltimore is gonna win by 56 points. Like he's just ridiculous.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's good. It's good people. He doesn't look it, but he's like in his 30s.
If you didn't tell me that, I would think that man is at least 62 years old.
Right. Let's see, like he's a big time Ravens fan. The other reason why I'm cool with the Ravens winning is because one of my favorite football personalities in history, may he rest in peace, is Tony Siragusa.
Yep.
So I'm
Goose.
I'm indifferent to Baltimore winning. I straight up don't want the Chiefs to win. Straight up don't want the 49ers to win. If I see another red and gold team win a Super Bowl, I'm going to fucking jump in the Black River. And we all know that the United States are all Lions fans for the foreseeable future, so...
Except for the Bay Area.
Yeah, except for the areas of the teams they're playing against, so be it.
Yeah.
Middle California Bay Area can have the Niners, and Missouri can have the fucking Chiefs. Other than that, dude.
And
plus it would be an all-time jersey matchup, man. Like especially if they did like the Ravens purple and black uniforms are so fucking hot. And with
the Lions silver and blue ones.
Yeah, either like the home and away jerseys for the Lions are just prime. So that's like a Hall of Fame jersey matchup right there.
I'll allow it.
I don't know. I just don't want to see the Chiefs win another one.
Neither do I.
Nobody wants to see the Chiefs win another one except for Chiefs fans.
I was gonna say people who are Chiefs fans do. My buddy's wife's a big Chiefs fan.
Rob?
No.
Oh.
I was actually referring to Eric.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck? Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah, Eric. His wife is a big Chiefs fan. But
Never would have guessed.
But I don't fucking care. Fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kermit.
I saw today that somebody was like, "Why does Patrick Mahomes walk around the field like he has a dirty diaper?" I was beside myself. That shit was funny. He does walk weird. He has like a tilt to his head.
I saw
a little autistic.
I saw a video of Mahomes breaking off a run against the Bills that just said, "Why does Mahomes run like he's Captain Jack with a bottle of rum?"
He doesn't look. It's so like that's one of the things I kind of love about Patrick Mahomes. Is he doesn't look athletic. It looks accidental. He is the definition of like a brewmaster monk, where he's just drunk, the drunken monkey, just fucking out there swinging, loose as can be. And also, I think it's cute when he yells because he has such a high pitched voice.
Do you think it's cute?
Yeah, I think it's cute. Like he's like not intimidating.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
James is falling asleep on us.
Yeah, he is. Is this fucking Gronkowski trying to kick a field goal again?
Yeah,
it is.
The kick of destiny, too.
Yeah. God bless him. You know, I will give credit where credit is due. Rob Gronkowski has been incredibly entertaining in his post career.
He has.
Yeah.
Very smart businessman. He plays that dumb guy so well, but he's really smart, actually.
He's leaned really heavily into the frat guy personality, but yeah, he's actually got it together. All right, boys. Is there anything you want to say before we close out?
I just want to go to fucking bed, man.
All right, to bed we go.
Never doubt the crime statistics.
Never doubt the crime statistics, despite the fact that I think we're
not very good.
3-5 on that, and we've never hit a bet, but whatever. Never doubt it. I want this guy's shirt.
At the end of the day, you win every time you don't live in the cities I mentioned.
That's a fact.
There it is.
Well, there you have it. Yeah, as always,
Detroit. No, do not go to Detroit.
Jesus Christ.
I was not expecting him to say that after saying at the end of the day.
Just follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and I don't even have inspiration to say on my closeout right now because that was
fucking
you know what?
YouTube.
Just
X
at short fat.
Come to my house. I'll leave the blinds open.
At short fat bald pod. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Just come to my house. I'll leave the blinds open. You can follow me there.
And then you can pray to the neighbors.
Yeah, you got to pray to the neighbor first before trying to break into my garage, which is our future studio. So don't do that.
I should have a key anyways.
Yeah, we're not recording anymore, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, we're just, Just don't break into my studio.
Until next time, fuckheads. Let's go to bed.
Bye.